Hello, my name is Sakshi Lokhande. I'm a spatial experience designer with a background in communication design. Today, I'm going to present my Capstone project, which is derived from my graduate qualifying thesis at the Fashion Institute of Technology as a part of my Exhibition and Experience Design Master's program. My Capstone project is titled Puzzled, and it is a game room puzzle adventure for kids. My thesis statement states that children's experiences are highly sensory and are based on factors such as light, sound, touch, smell, and color. Some of these experiences can be highly overwhelming for children with learning disorders such as ADHD. My aim with this thesis is to provide baseline design parameters for educators and designers to be able to build inclusive spaces that welcome and encourage all children to be intuitive during play. My venue for this project is the St. Anne's Warehouse in Dumbo, Brooklyn. My client is Hasbro, and my sponsors are the American Montessori Society and a community based organization called CHAD, which stands for Children and Adults with Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. My primary audience are 7 to 10-year-old children with ADHD. My secondary audience are their facilitators, their educators, and their caregivers. My tertiary audience are all children and their facilitators and caregivers. The big idea for this project is that using clues and puzzles, children will complete activities within these puzzle rooms through facilitated approach and an option to deviate from this adventurous puzzle path into comfort rooms for individual play or respite. With a lot of opportunities for role play, children will learn about real life experiences through puzzles and play posed as learning opportunities. The client for this project is Hasbro, which is a leading toy and game company with a deep commitment towards storytelling through experiences and a mission to bring the joy of play to all children around the world. One of my sponsors is the American Montessori Society, which provides a nurturing learning environment that supports children of all abilities through hands on learning. My other client is CHAD, which is a community based organization that supports individuals with ADHD and their allies and supporters and provides a community that they can always come back to. Some of the goals for this project are to create encouraging intuitive play opportunities, to create opportunities for social engagement through play, to encourage independence and self assertion through puzzles and puzzle play environments, to help children to engage in logical and cognitive developmental play, and encourage quick and critical thinking through collaboration and decision making, and to overall allow them more agency in order to choose their own experiences and to choose their own puzzles. My subject for this project is puzzles, which brings us to the question, why specifically puzzles? Because puzzles help improve focus in children, it also helps provide a sense of challenge. And a lot of times for individuals with ADHD, they are better able to focus with the subject matter if they are interested in it. This interest is generated by a sense of accomplishment that is attached to the subject matter. Puzzles provide that sense of accomplishment by giving them a challenge that they can resolve and feel accomplished. It also helps improve mental speed and helps improve memory. It provides a hands on approach and increases dopamine, which helps give you a happy and relaxed child. My color palette for this project has a lot of blues and greens, which are calming colors. This is contrasted with the use of brighter colors such as reds, oranges, and yellows, and lighter shades of these colors, which help children focus more and are able to separate the active spaces from the moments of respite. It is also important to create this visual classification and visual organization for children where they're able to identify that the blues and greens signify calmer spaces, whereas the reds and the oranges or the yellows signify spaces where they have to solve puzzles and be more active. Colors can also be used for wayfinding. They can be used as area identifiers, and they can be used as directional pathways for navigation. By using colors for navigation, children are able to create their own visual systems and follow through with those and navigate the space by themselves, which also gives them a sense of confidence and independence in the space. The content outline for this project revolves around subject matters like tactility, solo play, group play, moments of respite, and how to create those moments of respite using puzzles and a lot of sensory engagement, while also balancing that out with the respite and then also talking about storytelling and taking the visitors on a journey through this adventurous puzzle play environment. This content outline then translates to this floor plan where children enter the space through an introductory experience where they are briefed about the space. Then they move on to these puzzle rooms, which are inspired by escape rooms, which further take them into the city adventure, which has opportunities for real life role play and a small city which has daily activities posed as puzzles. Then they can exit through a tactile space, which has opportunities for takeaway. For the wayfinding in this space, I focused mostly on subways because there are a lot of subway stations near Dumbo, and New York is the transit system in New York is highly based on subways, and children travel within these subways from a very young age. So, using these subways and activating them using colorful displays is a great way to attract attention and to create a contrast in the muted colors within the subways. I also focused on street banners to reach out to the local communities around Dumbo and in Brooklyn. This space will have a lot of docent and staff support in order to provide facilitation. This can be achieved through a sponsorship by CHAD, where they can provide trained docents or training to docents, and through their large network and community, they can also be people who volunteer for the training, and people with ADHD who can volunteer to be a part of this experience, and they can also have a better sense of understanding of the needs of the audience and connect with them better through empathy. The programming and access to this is divided into slots of 1 hour. Each hourly slot will have 20 registrations with 15 pre-registrations that can be done online, and they come with kits that are emailed to the pre-registered people, which helps them understand how the space functions, and then 5 walk-in registrations every hour, which helps maintain a manageable flow of audience and also allows the docents a moment to reset the space and to focus on each child's individual experience and needs. It also helps in crowd management and to make every experience safe and enjoyable. This is an isometric view of the space with area callouts where we can see the sensory spaces and the calm rooms that are placed in between the active spaces, and the introductory space and the tactile takeaway space being called out as well. This is the introductory space where the facilitators can engage with the docents at the reception desks and learn about the space. They can also collect comfort kits, while the kids can engage with with the different shapes on the wall murals, learn about the code language that's hidden in the space. They can also engage with the RFID kiosks and create their profiles and collect their RFID bands, which will be further used to activate experiences within this space. This is the digital storyboard of the check-in kiosk where kids will enter their name, their age, they will select their colors that they prefer from the color palette of the space, and they'll collect their custom RFID bracelets. The comfort kits can also contain things like sound cancellation headphones, weighted blankets, sensory toys, um, certain calming essential oils that can be customized, and parents or facilitators can also ask for certain extra items that they would require to ensure that the kids have a comfortable experience within the space. This is the code language that later translated to a pattern. This can be seen in wall murals, on the t-shirts of the docents, and this is like an Easter egg trail in the space that kids can use as a secondary sense of discovery within the space as they decode the puzzles and travel through the space. Kids will use their RFID bracelets and they will follow this path on the floor and enter the space. The first space that they encounter will be a waiting area where they can engage with their comfort kits. They can use this busy board, play with the different fidgety shapes and create patterns on the board. They can also learn about the first space that they're about to enter and what kind of puzzles the spaces would have. Um, the entrance to the first room, that is the memory puzzle room, has a RFID kiosk where kids can customize the colors that they will encounter in the space, the activities that they can encounter, and there's a large wall mural that spans across the area, which has multiple patterns on it and different paths on it that mean certain things. Um, the outside of these rooms also have fidgety shapes that kids can engage with while they wait for their experiences to begin. The three paths that are on the wall are the adventure path, the sensory or the comfort path, and the exit path. The adventure path will take the kids to the next active space or the next adventure space. The sensory path will lead the kids to the nearest comfort room or calm rooms, which can be used as moments of respite or just as a downtime from solving puzzles and just engaging with the space or reflecting on the activities that they have engaged with. The exit path leads them to the nearest exit. It is on the floor and it is in the color orange so that it is easily visible and easy to spot at any point during the experience. The first room is the memory puzzle room, which has two types of puzzles. This caters to two different types of audiences. Certain kids are more social than others, and they can engage with more spotlighted activities, while other kids need more activities where they can be by themselves and solve puzzles. So the first activity on the floor are the Simon tiles, which are inspired by Hasbro's gaming Simon. These tiles will light up in a certain pattern, and the kids have to retain that pattern and follow that as they go on. And the pattern speeds up the more they engage with it. The other activity, that is a kiosk in the other in the corner of the room, has the flip tiles, which a lot of us used to play as kids. These flip tiles will have two tiles of the same pattern, and kids have to match all these tiles until all of the tiles are decoded. These two activities are very different in the kind of audiences that they cater to. The second weight space has a projection mapped floor where kids can use their feet, they can stand on these puzzle pieces and bring them together to finish the puzzle. Through docents, these can also be adjusted in order to cater to more children. And this can also be an opportunity for social engagement for children in the space. The second puzzle room is a treasure hunt space where kids will engage with the RFID kiosk, and they will pick an object that they have to find, which becomes their treasure. So, based on the age of these kids that they entered in the beginning, the number of steps that they have to follow, or the number of clues that they have to go through to reach their object is altered. So if it's a 5 year old or a 7 year old, then they'll have to solve lesser number of puzzles to get to the object, whereas a 10 or 11-year-old will have to go through more puzzles in order to find the hidden object. And once they find the hidden object, they will scan the barcode on it and drop it into the bin. This adds to their RFID points, which can later be used as a reward system. The next space is the sensory room, which is a multi-user space where kids can adjust the lighting, they can engage with each other or their facilitators, they can solve puzzles, read books. It's just a space where they can have some downtime. There's also a projection mapped screen here with jigsaw pieces that kids can move their arms around and bring these pieces together. They can select a theme such as ocean or the forest, and when the image of that theme is put together, the audio is triggered and the sound starts flowing. So if it's the ocean, once the image is put together, the kids will start hearing the sound of the waves crashing, which can be therapeutic. The next space is the city adventure, where kids can engage with a small miniature, um, a small miniature city where they'll encounter multiple activities that adults do in real life every day. And how these can be puzzling sometimes, but they can also be fun. And through gamification, kids will learn to navigate the city, and they'll have a small map that they'll also learn to navigate. Right opposite this entrance to the city adventure are the calm nooks, which are customizable individual places of respite. While the sensory room can be more collaborative, these are very individual calm nooks where kids can adjust the color of the lights in the space, they can adjust how the seating is, how it feels like. They can adjust the scents and the sounds. They can also play videos in the space that are calming to them, and they can also engage with their facilitators through games like Scrabble or crosswords and individual puzzles such as the Rubik's cubes. The first activity in the city adventure is the grocery store activity, which affirms the fact that grocery shopping can be puzzling. Following lists is something that is very difficult, sometimes for individuals with ADHD. So, using a grocery bingo, kids will learn how to shop within the budget. They will use fake coins and learn about monetary transactions. This also talks about how grocery shopping is can be distracting and how sticking to a list can be beneficial. The next activity that they'll encounter in the space is the fire station. The fire station has a kiosk, has a table that has a jigsaw puzzle on it and multiple RFID sensors. So the more number of people that engage with it, the more number of jigsaw pieces will appear on the screen. And it is a jigsaw of a puzzle of a city. And the aim here is to find the fire in the city. So when the kids start putting together the map of the city, they'll start noticing the fires that are present in the city, and they'll point those out and solve the puzzle by finding the fires and helping the fire department. The next puzzle is the restaurant, which is based on math puzzles. So a lot of times, like pizzas and pies, are all about math and fractions. So how when the kids engage with the RFID kiosk, they'll get an order receipt, which will have an order that says 3/4 of a pizza or 5/8 of a pie. And then kids will use clay as a medium to create these pies and learn about fractions. While the older kids can also use digital screens in this space and learn about the fractions and solve these order receipts. The next space is the police station space, where the kids will be the detectives and they'll be able to solve these puzzles where they'll have to guess who the culprit is based on a certain case. So this is derived from Hasbro's game that is called Guess Who, where visitors will have certain clues, and based on those clues, they'll eliminate suspects and find the culprit. So was it the cat or the rooster? And the puzzle, the kind of clues that they'll receive will be that the culprit has four legs or the culprit has no tail. And using these clues, they'll be able to find out who the culprit is. The next activity is the hospital activity, which has a Montessori intervention within it, where kids will solve word puzzles and they'll like such as word scrabble or word hidden word puzzles, and they will find the organ that they're supposed to be fixing, and they'll receive this in the format of a diagnosis sheet. And this talks about how hospital visits can be scary, it can be puzzling, but it is a part of our daily life. And diagnostics and the human body is a puzzle, and it can also be fun. And using a Montessori board, kids will put the organ in the right spot and treat the patient. The final takeaway space has a Zen garden, kinetic sand Zen garden pit, which is highly tactile and slightly less messy than an actual sand pit, but where kids can like use rakes and cut the kinetic sand and just engage with it and even enjoy the ASMR intervention that it provides. On the other side of the space, there are arcade kiosks where kids can tap their RFID bracelets and they can receive these coupons just like you do in an arcade. And these coupons can be exchanged for a Hasbro puzzle or a product at the takeaway reception desk, or they can redeem it in a Hasbro store for a certain discount. The takeaway reception desk also provides an opportunity for visitors to return the objects that they have borrowed, such as headphones and blankets or toys, which can be reused within this for this experience. These are some of my spatial graphics, decode the code, which we saw at the beginning in the introductory experience, and some of the other spatial graphics that appear in the city, and the question mark graphic, which is a directional graphic within the space that keeps appearing. These are my area identifiers, with each area having a specific graphic that signifies what happens in that space, and the different patterns that I'm using in the space as wall murals. These are some of my experience collaterals, where the journals can be used as reflection journals, post experience, where kids can sit with their facilitators or caregivers and talk about what they did, how they felt, and the tote bag, which is the comfort kit, which can be used as a takeaway, and the gift coupon that can be redeemed in Hasbro stores. Um, and thank you. Thank you for your time, and please feel free to reach out to me.